Hi, everyone from Andrea Tillman's class. All right, Terry, so after reviewing the email and going through your file, here's some of my analysis on what's causing some of the issues, like importing triangles and all the other fun aspects that Maya likes to throw at you. So the first one is you were mentioning triangles. So I'm gonna go ahead, go up to Mr. Rooster at the top of the barn. Not sure why he's up in the air, but you notice you have triangles. And a couple of the issues is if you're using FBX to import into Maya, it will automatically triangulate. So one way you can try is doing OBJs instead. But to fix this, there's two ways. And the first one is OBJ files. Trying those keeps the mesh. You can then apply your texture and then everything's good. The second one is you want to go to face mode with Mr. Rooster here. Select all of it and you'll notice I have everything selected. Go up to mesh, quadrulate, turn off these settings. So turn off keep face group. These are how I sort of found how everything worked. And you'll notice that it does its best to try and make everything into quads. And you notice right off the bat, it's actually doing a good job, except for you notice sort of right here around the wing. So unfortunately, you would have to go in and you had to fix that. Or the second way is, like I said, OBJ files. So let me go out of here. And I'm just going to do two different type of imports and to exactly show what I mean by FBX to OBJ. So let's go ahead and change you to, there you are. And I have this wooden stand, and this is actually something that I made back in 2016 in my advanced level design class. And it was just something to basically put into the environment. You'll notice in here it imports, but you notice, holy mackerel, it is huge. And the reason for that is when you import items from Max to Maya, it actually doesn't keep the scale. It's like two different scales in a way. So you would have to rescale it and so on and so forth. But you also notice that triangles, not what we want. So what you can do to fix that is I actually have this other Maya file. And it's just a simple table that I created, nothing too fancy. And what I did was, of course, I already exported it, so I'm not going to do it again, but I made it as a OBJ. And you can keep these as you want. You can turn off material if you want. It's up to you. But when you go back to this file, we're just going to go ahead, import it. Of course, you need to change this. And you notice that tables in here, it's actually keeping the size proportion how I actually set it up inside of Maya. But you also notice that I have quads, no triangles. So you can actually see the bottom too. So that's something to think about. It would actually save you a ton of time doing OBJ files instead of trying to fix everything. But again, it is something that would be great for you all to learn how to fix since you're sort of in a great team production project already. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Now the next one is I'm going to go ahead and go to this object, and you notice it has these green lines coming out of it. And if you don't have this, that's great. But to fix that, just go to display, polygons, normal size, and just bring this down to 0.2 and you'll notice that it goes away. Now, for that to happen, you have to do it on every object that you see this, so just keep that in mind. And then also, when you go up to, let's go ahead and do that to you so you can see what's going on here. So you notice right off the bat, you have these corn stalks and they have that same issue. So you can do what I showed with, you can go to face mode, select them all, mesh, quadrulate, And you notice right off the bat, it's actually doing a good job like on the leaf or on the stems or the leaves coming up. But you also notice you have these triangles and you would to not have to go through and do each one where you have to delete them. I would suggest if you have that file or whoever made these, have them make a OBJ file instead and import it into the scene folder. Now the issues. Now we're going to go into this one. This is the main issues that you were dealing with is you can, oh, it's actually moving. Oh, they weren't moving earlier. I wonder if it accidentally saved what I did. Okay, so I'll just recap what I had to do. So majority of your legs and stuff weren't moving. And the reason for that is you have these IK bin settings, which for some reason they're working now. So it must have been just this file acting up. Eh, they weren't working earlier, but if you wanted to fix that, all you had to do is just go to these IK tools and set them like up to 1 in the rotate 2. And essentially what this will do is that will give you the freedom to be able to move your objects or the rig. And then essentially you want to pull this out because legs don't bend that way, and then bring it down, and then do the same thing with this one and bring it down. And then with this, yeah, it seems to be working now. It must have been a glitch or something, but essentially this is actually working how you basically want it to. And then you basically you have fun. You can have the fun now to be able to animate this character and be able to get your master file going. And then there's this one. Bring that down. I tried that quadrillate with this one. It's not going to work. It will work on this though. I'll actually show you. So if I do you'll notice it makes it all in the quads. So that's at least plus. But this one, unfortunately, if you try this, maybe it will tell me something different. But you know, as I apply it, it doesn't do anything. So definitely, I would suggest OBJ files. Try importing those, and then all you have to do is just basically add a new material, or you can basically mess around with the material that imports, and you should be all set to go. So yeah, to basically to recap on everything, we talked about importing, how to basically try to get quads from triangles to quads, and then basically how you can actually go about on your rig, just playing around with these settings. I know that definitely those won't work, but you'll notice that everything else now on your model will move, especially this. It'll make a neat dance. And basically all you have to do is just bump these up if they don't give you that, if they give you issues. But yeah, if you run into any other questions into the scene, I'm glad to help. Definitely book a session with me on thinkingstorm.com and I'd be happy to help. One other thing though, I noticed this barn. This was how it came to me in your file. Not sure what happened, so I'd look into that. But otherwise, take care and talk to you later.